Okay, I'm going to have to remake the video that I did. Somehow it got deleted from YouTube. And it's heartbreaking because I put a lot of time and effort into it, but I'm not sure what happened. I know that I had a lot of warnings saying storage is full, storage is full, and I don't know nothing about videos, cameras, and I mean nothing. And I may have accidentally deleted it, trying to get myself more memory somehow. But I'm going to start this video again, and today the video is about sun-drying cabbage. Now, I have been sun-drying for years, but not really seriously. I'm going to show you something that I do a lot of sun-drying. And this is peppers. Okay, all I did to these, and I have them in a, this is actually a baby food jar. A friend of mine gave me years ago. She had children, and I've held on to them because I use them to store all kinds of stuff in. But I want you to see, all I did with this is it's 3 jalapenos in this little jar, and what happened is I knew they were going to go bad because I had no intention of using them, and I could tell that they were getting a little old. And so what I did is I just sliced them up, took a piece of parchment paper, stuck it in my window, and laid them on there. And I left them there, I don't know, maybe a week. I didn't pay much attention to them at all, and then boom. I said, well, wait, whoa, these are dry already. And so I put them in a jar. You can use them in soups, stews. You could crush them. Sprinkle them over pizza if you're making your own pizza. You could put them in nachos, you know. Just throw it in the cheese when you're making the nacho cheese. You can do a whole lot of things. You could reconstitute them if you want, but I don't find that necessary. But why I think drying is so important is because it keeps us from throwing away any scraps of vegetables at all. Let's say you had a half of a zucchini left over. You just didn't eat it. Yeah, maybe you threw it in the pot, but it wasn't really necessary. But you did it because you're like, what else am I going to do with this? Throw it in the garbage? Well, dry it. Sun dry it. And it becomes food for another day. And it's so important with what's coming up. And it's the sun. It's free. Sun drying allows you to do, I think, more vegetables with a better use to them. In other words, bell peppers in a dehydrator have to be cut in strips or little chunks or, you know, something like that. But sun drying them, you can do it whole. And then you can turn around and reconstitute them or rehydrate them and stuff them. And so, just like fresh stuffed peppers, there's, to me, a lot more you can do when it comes with sun drying, reconstituting it and reusing it than you can using a dehydrator. And you don't have to worry if the future you can't get a dehydrator, you can't afford a dehydrator. You can do it in the sun on a windowsill. I'm going to show you how you hang things outside. I've seen women that would roast their long green chilies and take clothespins, and they would have these long lines. I thought they were clotheslines, but recently a lady told me, no, those were not clotheslines. Those lines were intentional to sun-dry the long green chilies. And they just used clothespins on the stems to hold them there, and it would dry them. And they would put them in water and reconstitute them, stuff them with cheese, and make chili rellenos. I was so amazed at the different things that, you know, could be sun-dried that I really began to ask everybody, because sun-drying is something that has been around for hundreds of years, but nobody does it. So let's get started here. Well, I shouldn't say nobody does it, but very few people do it anymore, because for some reason they just don't trust it. I don't know why, but they just don't. But anyhow, I trust it. You know, God gave me the sun, and I trust the sun, and I trust God. Okay, so I don't see anything wrong, any worse than a dehydrator. I think it's easier, I think it's better, and I think you can do a lot more with it. So let's get this cabbage cut up and spread it out, because this is how you're going to sun-dry cabbage. And we'll discuss this. Let me get this moved out of the way, and let me get this cabbage turned around and get going here. Okay, now I have already started, and this is really hard to do on camera, but I have already started. You see that core right there? That's what you want to take out of this, because that's the hard part. And I'm afraid with this camera, I'm going to have a hard time. So what I'm going to do is I am going to core this, take this core out, off camera, and bring you back. Okay, here we go. I managed to get that core out. And so now all I'm going to do is cut this up. Now I'm going to give the core, and I did peel some outer leaves off of this cabbage. So I'm going to give that to the chickens. They'll love me for it. And I love my chickens. Now, the thing about cabbage is a decision on which way you're actually going to cut it. Now, some people cut it crossways this way, others cut it this way, and whichever way you seem to do it, you have a problem with it being really like curly on the inside, which I got some seeds there. That's what takes so long, is these curly pieces that you see in here that are not flat. They're curled up and they take longer to dry. But I would like to have longer pieces than what I had, because I saw how these are drying and I think they're kind of small. But yes, they do shrivel up. There is no doubt about it that they do shrivel. So I'm going to start, let's see. I can't remember. I think yesterday I did it this way. I don't think I want to do it this way, though. Let me take a good look here. I'm debating on how to do this. This is, rocket science here. You got to really work at it. But I'm going to try this and see. Okay? Now, see, these pieces definitely are coming out longer than the pieces I had yesterday. Yep. And I like this, so. Yep. There we go. Okay, so this is how I'm going to cut this. Yes. All right, let me get this cut. Move it a little bit over. I need to get another tray going here. But I'll bring you back after I got this cut, because this is moving this camera around too much, okay? Okay, I'm going to show you something here, because as I was cutting this, I really like how these long pieces are turning out. So I'm cutting it this way. The other way, I cut, I think it was this way. I don't remember. But I'll figure it out. It could be that this is turning out because it's nicer, because it's, I don't know, the other half or something. But this is really the kind of pieces I wanted. But what I want to show you is, you see how this looks right here? Well, inside there's more to it. There's more than one piece here together, you see? There's 3 pieces. Well, you want to make sure that you get this separated. You don't want to try to dry all 3 of those together. So, and quite honestly, you can take your trays and put them anywhere you want. Protect them from animals, critters. If you live in places where you have lots of those, don't put it on the ground where a rabbit can get to it and chew it all. But you see how I'm separating this? But I don't think birds will mess with it so much. They might. I don't know. But I'm throwing this over here to the side for now. Yes, I got I got blue marks all over me. I'm always bruising. I'm always banging myself outside. You know, we have a lot of what I call animal areas and different things, and they're made from, you know, scraps and different stuff, and sometimes wire sticks out. I even, you know, hook myself, my skin on wire and all kinds of stuff here. So, you know, but you see how I'm trying to, now see some of this, you see, that's a piece. This is things you cannot help when it comes to cabbage. It just, that's how cabbage grows and is done with, you know. It has pieces within, inside of pieces, you know, like, you see this here? That's a piece inside of a piece. And that probably would dry just fine because it's small. But when it's bigger pieces, you want to make sure you pull them out. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. But let me finish getting this cut up, and then we'll get it put on some trays. I'm going to show you how yesterday's turned out. But you're seeing how I did yesterday's today, because I'm doing the other half because I lost the first video. Okay, as you can see, I did much longer pieces than I did the first half, which I like this better. So I think this will work better. So I guess redoing this, you know, I guess kind of helped in the end. Now I'm going to set these in the window for today. Because see, right now, they're really kind of packed tight. But overnight, sitting in my kitchen window, they will really start to dry out. And then that way I can, you know, fan them out, separate them a little more, and then put them on the outside. And I'll keep you updated on this and how it's going. And I've got another tray that I'm going to do also. But I hope you'll try this and come back, because there's a whole lot of other things I'm going to dry. And it's done different, completely different than it would in a dehydrator. But the thing of it is something that you can do at any time, because you can do it in your house, even in the wintertime. And so, you know, you just need some heat, just a little bit of heat. You can do it. If you've got a wood stove, behind your wood stove, you can set some trays and put your vegetables there. You know, kitchen window, you don't have to open it, but it can still be done almost anywhere. You know, there's people that dry in the winter, but most of the time it's done in the summer, and it's to get them through the winter months. But it is different. You can dry okra for fried okra. I love fried okra, but I'm not going to pressure can it. I don't like it that way. Dried, wonderful. So there's some real pluses to sun drying. Well, I hope you'll come back, and God bless you. And keep praying. Keep, you know, doing what you're doing, putting food away for the future, that kind of thing. And, you know, we're going to need God's help in the end. We really, really are. We need His help every day. Whether we want to admit it or not, we do. But God bless, and have a blessed day. Okay, this is the first day, okay, for this. Now, it has really shriveled up a lot. In other words, it's really drying. This was so full. Now, I want you to see, this is the edge over here. I don't have the original pictures, but I'm going to sun dry more. I have another half. Since I lost the video, and I'm not sure how, I might have to do it all over again, but I wanted you to see that it is working. It's drying this cabbage. And this first day, I am shocked at how much it's... I mean, there's still a lot of moisture in this. I'm not saying no. But it has definitely shriveled up a lot. It's just, you know, it is really drying. So, we'll have to redo this video so you can see, because I do believe this is important. So, I'm going to put these back outside, because that's what I did. I decided I'm going to put them outside instead of my windowsill. I think it will take longer in my windowsill, and so I think this will work better outside. And besides that, it gives you some practice of things that you want to say. Well, I don't want to do this, or yeah, I'll do that, or I'll cover this, and no, it's not necessary to cover that. It gives you some ideas of what you can do or should do. Okay?